Formula One moves back into action after the summer break. We're here in the Netherlands for the Dutch Grand Prix at a seaside resort half an hour away from Amsterdam. Welcome to Zandvoort. It's round 15 of the Formula One World Championship as well. Next week we are in Monza, the home of the Tifosi for the Italian Grand Prix. September also takes us to Azerbaijan for the last European race of the season, and then the flyaway in Singapore begins. The Americas leg starts in October after another month's break, with the Circuit of the Americas hosting the United States Grand Prix for a week later in Mexico, and then a further week later in Brazil, leading us to November, which also hosts Las Vegas. December rounds out the season with Qatar and Abu Dhabi back-to-back. Max Verstappen leads the Drivers' Championship on 277 points, clear to Lando Norris on 199. Charles Leclerc is 10 clear to Oscar Piastri in 3rd and 4th, with Carlos Sainz 5th. Double Grand Prix winner this season, Lewis Hamilton, now on 150 after George Russell's disqualification in Belgium. Sergio Perez is in 7th position, the only driver in the top 4 manufacturers yet to score a race victory this season. Alonso and Stroll round out the top 10. Nico Hülkenberg is 11th on the same amount of points as Yuki Tsunoda. They're 10 clear to Daniel Ricciardo. Ollie Behrman has 6 points after his amazing Saudi Arabia race. He's level with Gasly, 1 clear to Magnussen and Ocon. Alexander Albon is the last driver with points. Zhou, Sargent and Bottas still pointless. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way, 408 points, but they are being massively closed in by McLaren on 366 and Ferrari on 345. Mercedes now getting their act together in the second half of the year as well, with 3 of the last 4 race victories. They're in 4th. Aston Martin have 5th from RB in 6th. Haas are 7th. Alpine 8th. Williams 9th. Sauber still no points on the board. Let's take a look around this circuit. Zandvoort in the Netherlands, a 2.646 mile circuit, 14 turns, elevation changing up and down, 3 bank corners as well, and one of the best circuits on the calendar to return to Formula One. Get a good launch at the last corner of the banking and hurtle down towards turn number 1 of Tarzan. 8th gear flat out, hit the brakes with about 70 metres to go. A long sweeping double apex right-hander which tightens towards the pit exit. Turn 2 and 3 fall together as well, and now into the banking. Take a low line, let the car drift up high if you need it. It's not going to compromise too much on your overall lap time. Now coming through the dune section as well, really get the car up to speed as you take several parts of the track flat out. Lift off the brakes ever so slightly, drop down 2 gears down to 6th. Full throttle now, drop down 5th gear, flick the car into the right, then back down 5th, 4th, 3rd, flick the car in once again and again back on the power. Turn 9 and 10 now. Hard on the brakes, to the left, double apex again, light the power and then open up the DRS zone as well. Continue with the power down towards the chicane, another heavy braking spot as well. Have to tarmac on the inside line as well to stop gravel coming onto the circuit. Very tight, twisty, slow, stoppy section. Now it's all about the banking, the last corner here at Zandvoort. Get a good entry into the last corner and then boot it hard. Don't lift off the brakes once, keep the car to a low centre line. More degree there at the last corner there is at turn 1 at Indianapolis. Across the line, and that is a lap of Zandvoort. Zandvoort is once again surrounded by water. Welcome to free practice 3 for the 2024 Dutch Grand Prix here at the Netherlands circuit of Zandvoort. The sand dunes have really provided us with once again an interesting setup. We've got no idea what is going to happen in the next hour. 60% of chance of rain for this session as well. Low grip conditions have been declared by the stewards. DRS disabled. I don't know why it says 60, Jess, because let me tell you, it is 100% chance of rain. It is throwing it down. And the pink head material padding must be used as well for the stewards. Track temperature 19.6, air temperature 17.8. Wet, dry, yeah, it's wet. Wind speed at 0.7. We've got it at 2.5 kilometers an hour, blowing from the southwest. 96% humidity. Pressure 1004.7 M bar as well. And yeah, the rain just starting to come in once again. So here we go then. Wet session, and not really much that the drivers can do. We'll see a few runs, but they want to save their tyres ready for the session later on.
I'm a bit shocked, actually, that it's wet at the moment, because we saw in F1 Academy it started raining and it stopped raining, so I think it's carried on. But I was expecting it to dry up, so we're gonna probably have another drag session like we did in FP1, and I'm not looking forward to that. But we'll see what we could do. I'm excited about this weekend because we got multiple teams in contention for the race to win and pole. Mercedes look like they're strong once again in terms of power engines, with obviously Norris topping FP1, Russell topping FP2. It seems to me that Red Bull could be struggling a little bit, but they're not far off McLaren and Mercedes. But there's one team that's been looking strong in free practice, in simulation, Williams. Williams are looking good, surprisingly. But again, we won't know properly until we get to the race on Sunday and qualifying today. So this is the first weekend in a while where we don't know who's going to get pole.
Yeah, 7 different drivers, 4 different manufacturers as well have a shot at pole position, not counting Sergio Perez, as it's a track that he historically doesn't go well at. But the anticipation is up. It's freezing in this commentary box as well, by the way. It's 19 degrees Celsius, but it's raining here as well. It's freezing in the box. It's freezing over there in Zandvoort as well, with a lot of wind blowing in. So you almost want to put a coat on up here in the box as well. Many people getting their deck chairs ready to go, though. Jess, we're about to start the session. What do you think we're going to see out here right now? Many cars going out to begin with in what arguably is going to be the best of the conditions, because more rain is blowing in.
Yeah, if I were them, get your laps in quite early on as well, because it might rain tomorrow, so getting used to it. I think we could see a lot of lockups into turn 1, turn 3, and a little bit of a spin in turn 10, so watch out for that.
Many fans are still making their way into the circuit as well, because we've had numerous delays on public transport. So they're making their way in, they're fighting the conditions. Here it comes then. It's practice 3 for the Dutch Grand Prix of 2024. All set then for free practice 3 here in Zandvoort. It's wet, it's windy. What else do you expect from a summertime beachside resort? Of course, we're going to have mixed conditions, and what a place to have it at. A very tight circuit, this one here at Zandvoort in the Netherlands. 4 different names can accompany this circuit. You've got Zandvoort, you've got the Netherlands, you've got the Dutch Grand Prix, or you've got Holland as well. And what a circuit. Around the sand dunes as well. It's a fantastic site. 4.259 kilometres, 2 DRS zones, top speed of over 334.8 kilometres an hour. That's 208 miles an hour, 14 turns in total. 2 banked corners at 18 degrees. That's double the size of what we have at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's almost akin to Daytona. C1 hard, C2 medium, C3 soft are your dry tyres, but we're going to need the green, light rain intermediate, and the blue full wet extreme tyres, as we're right on the coast. About 30 seconds away from the side of the track in the main grandstand is the beach as well. It's the equivalent of racing on the promenade at Scarborough. That's what we're at right now as well. It's super close. Welcome to the commentary box. Alongside me in the comms is Jess Sport. Down in the pits is Josh T. We'll hear from him shortly as well. And yeah, Jess, conditions getting worse all the time. But it's 17 degrees out there, so it's not cold, but it's a bit chill in the air.
Yeah, a lot of chill in the air, as you were saying, and that's going to really help people that have higher wings compared to other cars, but it is a higher downforce circuit anyway, so it's not going to be as hard as some other tracks where you have low downforce in the dry and then high downforce in the wet, so we have to wait and see what happens. We have got some interesting news, which I will go through later on as well, which I found out about yesterday. A bit of leaks in the F1 paddock currently. Shall I tell you about it now?
Go
before
for
the green
it.
light goes on. So apparently, I don't know when it happened, but I saw on Twitter a quote from Toto Wolff saying, "Both of our drivers will have the full support of the team in 2025. I want everything to go well with George and Kimi next year." So he kind of leaked that Kimi is going to be racing at Mercedes next year before they were going to announce it. And speaking of Mercedes, we're still watching Lewis Hamilton looking at data, I presume. But yeah, it seems like Toto doesn't want to wait, does he?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be announced over the Italian Grand Prix weekend that Andrea Kimi Antonelli will be driving for the team full-time in 2025. Yeah, the worst kept secret in Formula One as well, let me tell you. And must give credit to the guy who told us about Kimi Antonelli to begin with. We were all watching him. But it was actually George Morgan, who, I don't know if you were there, Jess, if you remember, during one of the PSGL commentators' launch parties. We were all hanging around after the first session, and he said about Andrea Kimi Antonelli as one to keep his eye on because he'd just been signed by Toto Wolff as his new manager. So, and he said it'd be in F2, then it'd be straight to F1. And lo and behold, George was right. So yeah, it looks like that's going to be the situation.
And Toto did not break Kimi's promise. So
Yeah.
you know, there we go.
It's something that's a remarkable situation that's going on right now.
Could he be the next Max Verstappen? Because I know Max Verstappen got promoted quite early, but that was the right decision because Max is, well, Super Max.
And arguably, Andrea Kimi Antonelli is now starting to show why the reason that he's got so much attention around him, certainly in the junior formula as well. I think he was talking to Natalie Pinkham after practice too yesterday, that he had upset about it. So I know JT's trying to find that clip for the audio. It was after FP2. Rain is coming down though, as the green light's going to go on shortly. And we'll hear it from the pit lane, I believe, with Bernie Collins soon. There's a lot of standing water out there. DRS disabled, but 3, 2, 1. The green light goes on. We're underway here for the practice session now. And the timer starts ticking down. No one in a hurry to leave the pit lane in these mixed conditions, and I can't really blame them. Let's say good afternoon. Good morning, actually. It's 10:30 here in the UK, 11:30 over there in Zandvoort. Earlier that we start these sessions now. Good morning, JT. How are you doing down there?
I was looking at the team's press conference, but now that you said fact 2, I'm going there. Hello.
Rain, rain, rain. It's going to be another one of those FP1 sessions like we had yesterday where it drags and drags and drags.
It's just normal Formula 1 fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can barely see what's going on there in the helicopter.
Yeah, there's a lot of wind coming in from the side of the circuit as well. A lot of drag around the air. Another breaking news story that's come in is that Flavio Briatore says that the Alpine F1 team is not for sale. So Alpine are staying in the sport.
Are they
as well.
sure they don't want to sell?
Yeah, they don't want to sell it too. That's the question. Megan Birch has joined us now in the commentary box as well as part of the punditry team.
It's cold.
For the first time. It is cold, isn't it, as well? How are you doing there, Megan?
Cold.
Is that all you've got to add to the broadcast?
I've just had.
That's what she said earlier as well, Josh.
Did you warm up at all during?
No.
Okay. I'm not putting the heater on.
I know.
That's I refuse to put the heater on in the summer.
Doesn't help I'm wearing sandals.
No, yeah, I'm wearing shoes and a shirt. Even I'm cold. This chair's getting ridiculous. Looks like we're going to have a Haas, though, going out on the circuit to give us some full wet, extreme wet tyres. Nico Hulkenberg, who is going out. Let's see how long it takes him to spin it and put it in the barrier then. Hulkenberg, who is confirmed to go to Sauber in 2025. That'll become Audi in 2026. And I think Jess as well. A very good decision because Haas, yes, they've been moving up the order, but Sauber, yes, they're at the back, no points scored, but they are growing with the investment, aren't they? They will be quite quick in 2026.
It will take time, and I know Nico Hülkenberg believes in the project that they got, that they will take time, so he won't be as quick in 2025, but in 2026, watch out. And it is quite a natural move because obviously he's a German driver, Audi's a German manufacturer, so it is just great. He's been so good this season in Haas as well, so I'm so happy that the team at Sauber believe in him to have a seat in F1 for 2025 and 2026, maybe even 2027 as well. And I think there are rumours as well that Bottas could be re-signed. And I think to be honest, Bottas is one of those drivers that can't be let go just yet. But I think there's no other teams he can go in. So the logical move will be to stay in Sauber, but potentially one more year. So I think another piece of the puzzle could be solved soon. But yeah, I won't be surprised if Bottas is a final driver that Sauber signed for 2025.
As we look at Sauber now with Valtteri Bottas on the circuit, that was well timed. He's come out behind Magnussen and Hülkenberg as well. But Megan, yeah, we can argue then that it's right for Bottas to maybe re-sign, but the argument that can't be said is Zhou Guanyu.
He's been bottom of the standings
all season.
Year.
He also
has
even Sargent's beaten him.
Yeah, and he's only got out of qualifying once.
I can't see the team seeing him as not expendable.
Yeah. I mean, it's
just a shame.
Sprint qualifying, he got out into Q3, so he did get through to SQ3, started 9th on the grid in the sprint race in China. It's intermediate tyre conditions already, says Nico Hülkenberg on the radio. We'll hear from Kevin Magnussen shortly, as both of them are returning to the pit lane. But yeah, so you've got to argue with that. And then he did get out of Q1 in Silverstone. But out of 14 races so far, he's qualified out 19th or 20th on the grid, the back row 13 times.
Yeah,
it
isn't looking good.
Plus then you've got to count sprint races in where that's an extra 4 already. So it's not the greatest out there. Let's hear from Nico Hülkenberg now over the radio. This is what he had to say.
No, as you want. So I think the conditions are ready.
Yep, so that was the text message that came up. This is
Mode K2, please. Mode K2. Or mode push, in fact. Mode push.
So mode K2 and then push. But Magnussen has come into the pit lane, so has Bottas. Zhou, Piastri and Sainz have ventured out onto the circuit as well. So they'll have a few more turns. And okay, you can go for recharge off when you like. Moveset corner 5. So they're all just taking it very easily out there. Carlos Sainz is venturing out.
A lot of people with their phones out and not their hoods.
Yeah. Danny Ricciardo's come on the circuit as well. There's a few more venturing. And that's right, Jess, isn't it? You can see the amount of spray. You were in the F1 Academy session, YouTube, but Jess, is it worse or better than what we had in Academy?
Better.
Yeah.
It might be the same, because it started off quite bad and it got better as the session went on.
Yeah,
but
I think it's the same as final 2.
Yeah, because there's still quite a bit of spray, but Sector 1 was the most dampest, and then Sector 2 and Sector 3 was quite dry.
Oscar's gone off.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah, locked up down at turn 11.
McLaren can just not stay on today.
Should we hear from our 2025 Alpine driver, Jack Doohan's up in the commentary box for Crofty and Ann?
Finding a feet, maybe regrouping before qualifying. That's on intermediate, that's a wet. Everything's out of the window. Now you're blind going into qualifying. It's important, we will send through X amount of test items from A through to E or F, A obviously being top priority. And the boys, they're both drivers, engineers, will have to cipher through and go, okay, this has worked before. I potentially like this change. Or no, I'm not going to maybe gain so much confidence from that. They might not do anything, but maybe a change for us and looked like it was a strong one, but could potentially not gain too much confidence for the driver going straight into qualifying. It's something that they won't be able to take and won't be able to risk.
More on this weekend in a moment. Obviously, one of the benefits of getting a full-time seat for next year is you won't be doing all this sim work till 2:40 in the morning. You'll be doing corporate sponsorship work as well. We've got a lot of that lined up for you. We've got a lot of mates who've been passing on congratulations to you as well. Patrick Mahomes was one of the people that wanted to say well done and even tweeted Let's go.
NFL.
Congrats, man. Since when did you and Patrick Mahomes become such buddies, yeah?
Since I did this really cool catch, the catch I caught a ball that he threw in Miami, and actually it was nothing without my catch.
You made the scene.
I made
the scene.
it. To be honest, it was relying on my catch. If I didn't catch it, obviously it wouldn't have happened. Bad throw and whatnot.
It was the second best catch by someone in the stands at a sporting event that I've seen this year. Did you see the guy at the cricket yesterday?
No.
It was a guy, was it Smith, the England batsman, hit this six into the crowd, and a guy caught it one-handed, didn't spill his beer in the process, which is the mark of a great catch. You can keep your point intact.
I think they're looking out for that their whole lives rather than the stands, no? Like
Just a
practicing
touch.
it literally at home on the couch, trying not to spill the beer.
Are you ready to become like a global megastar, though? The fact that you will be one of 20 drivers in Formula One, that now just elevates you. You go from, and look, we joke about the global superstar bit, but you go from being reserve driver, fitting in with the team, making a few coffees, doing the sim work, learning your trade. Now there's a huge responsibility on you for the future.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, it's a really good feeling. I was at the factory yesterday. I did my first speech in front of all the staff, which was super special, because we do a lot of, you could say, speaking in front of Paddock Club or also on stage appearances, but it was the first time I'm speaking in front of a group of people who really care what I'm saying. It really impacts them, and they're taking a lot from what I'm saying, because these are the group of people that are shaping the machinery around me for next year, and it's really cool to actually know that everything I do, the effort that I put in is all not that it has been worthwhile, but I know it is. That is confirmed, that I know that we're going to be working together. I know that we're having a working relationship, that the more we put into it, the more we're going to get out of it, and that's a really good thing.
Jack Doohan there on Sky Sports F1, and an absolute wonder kid to go in as well. Mick is already very happy he's going to be a permanent feature again next year. He's been moonlighting in some MotoGP, obviously. Well, I say moonlighting, he's a legend, but Mick's been hovering the back of TNT Sports Pictures with Susie throughout the whole weekend as well. And it's sort of a merging of two families, isn't it? Mick Doohan, the motorcycle legend, Jack Doohan now coming up through four wheels rather than two, and it's fantastic. And
well deserved for Jack Doohan, I think. And I was watching a bit of one of the interviews where they were talking about why he was. I think Jack made the decision that he would rather focus on being the F1 reserve driver rather than F2, because he just didn't have to concentrate on two things, which is fair enough, to be honest. He had the right amount of points.
It's either Stroll, it's Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's off.
Oh no, not again.
Yeah, he's off at turn 11. Yellow flag's out. Now it's...
Yeah, he ain't moving.
Yeah, this might be a stoppage as Alonso goes second, 125.240.
But it's interesting that they've put for yellow out in the wrong place.
He's knocked off his front wing.
He's going. Oh, it's turn one.
He's gone. No. It's down to the chicane.
Turn one. Iron Dyke.
Yeah, he's locked up. I reckon he's hit the barrier. So he's and the wing's being.
Oh God! Look at that.
It's probably
damage and a half.
Wedged.
How did he get his car going?
It is properly crumbled and sort of fallen underneath itself. So he's gone in.
Well, at least it won't fall.
I reckon he's locked up going down into turn 11, and he's just gone straight off into the barrier. That's a very unusual part to get right. Yeah. So Hulkenberg's managed to go back to the pit lane. Local yellows to return debris.
Oh, I like his helmet.
I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, Alpine have finally made the right decision to promote one of their junior drivers to F1.
Yes,
it was about time, and he's done pretty decent during the free practice sessions, and apparently he's done a good job with the amount of data he's able to pull in to help the two Alpine drivers. So yeah, I think it's well deserved.
The amount of sim work that Jack Doohan has been doing is insane. The amount of late nights he's been doing, he's not been
dedication.
Let's have a look at Nico Hulkenberg.
4 a.m. Sometimes it's not even slept at all.
Next.
Sargent's lost his tyres.
And Hulk's just locked up straight
into
the barrier.
Not Sargent.
Yeah, Hulk straight into the barrier. Don't think much could have been done there, Jess, do you? Oh, here's his winner.
No, radio.
Yesterday, I touched the brake and the lock up.
Weird.
How did he get back going?
I'm just going to say this. Asymmetric braking was banned over the summer break. Now, the FIA stated that no team were running asymmetric braking. Now, what that is, asymmetric braking, is that if, as is Kevin Manson done the same thing, watch the inside front right, yeah.
Why is that braking more than that one?
Well, that's what asymmetric braking is. Asymmetric braking is instead of both wheels locking up at the same pressure, so when you hit the brake pedal, both decelerate at the same time. Asymmetric braking decelerates one wheel more than the other on the front end, and it's also controlled at the rear end braking as well. Now, it's been banned over the summer break. Red Bull were rumoured to have a rear asymmetric braking, which controlled the slide better. That's why they've got incredible downforce. That was only rumoured. It's been disproven. The engineers that built the car said, no, it's not there.
Are we sure?
Never. But the amount of lockups we've seen from Haas this weekend, I'm starting to wonder, did they have asymmetric braking?
I think they did.
I
think they might still.
Yeah. The amount.
I'm keeping an eye on the teams that have had lockups.
Yeah, and well, it's involving a Hulkenberg noted driving in an unsafe condition. That's a bit.
Well, at least he got his car back into the pit lane.
Just let you know, Jess, your camera's frozen. We can hear you, but your camera's frozen. But yes.
Oh, for God's sake.
I agree with you. Let's hear from Danny Ricciardo quickly, while Jess gets a camera fixed.
And we can keep pushing another lap.
Fine on my
Tires are
end.
still coming up. Slightly below still.
Say again, JT.
It was fine on my end.
Oh, Oscar Piastri's gone off. Down at 10, 11 and 12. He's locked up and gone straight on similar to Hulkenberg. I've just noticed on the onboard cameras we've got up here in the comms box. So.
Driving in an unsafe condition, Hulkenberg has been noted.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, what's the same?
My headphones turned up more today. I don't know what. It's like something's.
I don't know, but I feel like delay is high.
Delay?
Yeah, just for me though.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, another yellow flag set to one.
Might just be
Russell! It's Russell! George Russell is off at turn 1!
It might just be my brain processing.
He's continued on. He's continued
He's going. I figure he must have gone off at the runoff area.
Oh, Oscar's off as well. They've both gone off at turn 1. I reckon Russell followed Oscar in. Oh, big one there! And that's a red flag. It's Logan Sargent with a huge accident.
I think.
Red flag's out. It's down and turn. It's the exit down to turn 4. He's lost our entry. There's a fire in the back.
Yeah, that's he hit near the back, so that's kind of
that's a huge accident.
That's
the car's
car's
on fire. He says I'm okay on the radio. Medical car's been deployed. The car is on fire.
He must have ran out.
Well, it's not the first time that Williams has been on fire here. Back in 1978, of course, their driver was killed in an accident here at Zandvoort, the last corner.
God.
And
wheel.
Frank Williams was so devastated he folded the team. He didn't come back until the 1980s.
Look, he really has lost his wheel now.
Yes, and this is a big accident. Sergeant, I can see him getting out of the car. He's jumped away. The car is on fire. It's a huge accident. That is, he's not going to take part in qualifying. And I have never seen a Formula 1 car catch fire the way that has done.
Yeah.
It is burning. I mean, obviously we've seen Romain Grosjean caught fire.
Yeah, it's a bit reminiscent of that, just in lower things.
Marshall's...
But he just got off so quickly. But he must. Yeah, he's got to be checked out.
Well, James Vowles is the team principal on the Sky F1 pit wall. We'll hear from him later on. Sargent was running 5th fast in this session. He's come out of turn 3, and I reckon as soon as he's hit the accelerator, the car's jostled back.
The car just went boof. That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
It's a shame because Williams have been doing pretty decently this weekend with Albon putting their car in the top 10 and Sargent doing pretty well as well. So yeah, Williams were doing pretty decent. So
new updates as well on both cars, Megan.
Yeah, new updates as well. And yeah, this was a weekend where Sargent really needed to prove himself, but the car just gave up on him. That's a shame.
He did say that he felt he had lost his tyres. So I think this could be a grip issue.
Must be. I want to see a replay.
Or suspension. I mean, if he
it's
felt
going to
like
be
he
a
lost...
long red flag.
If he felt like he lost his tyres that early on, it could be a suspension issue.
Barrier's damaged as well, everyone. So this is going to be a long red flag, unfortunately. Let's take a look at it. So it's coming out of 3. Here's the onboard camera. Gets out of 3, puts the throttle down. Is he going to put a wheel on the grass? Yes, he does. Loses it, sends it somersaulting into the barrier. It's a big accident to look at, but in reality, it's not that huge for him protecting the cockpit.
Who's that
but
McLaren?
It's
How did
Piastri.
the fire start? That's what I like to know.
Oh, it just snapped on the grass, sent him in, and the back. Oh my word!
It looked worse on the off-board shot than the on-board shot. On the on-board shot, it just looked like a normal crash.
Yeah, the reason it's caused so much
Lucky
damage
that-
is the Marshall. Did you see, JT?
Yeah, lucky that caps fence was there, because what's the tyre?
Oh my god!
Oh, they must have got some debris in their face.
He's hit it at the entry point, at the entry point to the escape road. So he's hit the side-on barrier. That's why it's so much damage out there.
I can hear just like Piastri inside screaming, just like, please don't let the tyre hit me,
Yeah.
please don't let the tyre hit me.
We had Piastri's on board on the camera. That's how I first knew that he'd gone off. Because we saw a Williams off the track. That's how I knew it was Sargent.
That tyre
He
went
just,
right in front.
he just touches the wet grass and sends it into the side. And lucky that nobody was hurt there with the catch fencing, as JT says, doing its job and protecting the fans and the marshals. Here he is on the
And the
radio.
halo.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay. You okay? That's what matters. Car is on fire, mate. Car is on fire, so you should jump out. Jump out, car is on fire at the rear of the car.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, Logan Sargent might be under investigation by the stewards for that one. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the car was on fire and he didn't get out of the car.
I think he was in shock.
Yeah, he should have got out of the car quicker than that.
I think he was in shock for a few seconds, so I don't think it really
It's
processed in
still
his
on fire.
mind.
It's still on. Well, look, we've got the onboard camera up on our box here. It's still on fire.
I think maybe
Well, I'm having a look at this from my end. Hold on, let me get the app.
from
Yeah.
the angle that he hit the barrier, I'm guessing maybe there was a slight fuel leak that's occurred. Obviously not as
And
big
that's
as the
what's
one.
caused the fire.
Yeah, because similar thing happened with obviously Roman Grosjean. Obviously his was completely ripped in half, so
Yeah.
that fire was bigger. But
It's punctured it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this has just been like jolted, and now it's just like leaking.
Look, you can see. You're right. Look, we can just see. Look, the fluid now starting to leak down onto
Yeah.
the circuit. So there's now fuel on the circuit. So this is going to be a big cover-up job, and they've got to make sure it's all clean.
And they're
so-
standing in it.
Yeah, this
There's
is.
a lot of oil on the right-hand side wheel as well. Like,
Yeah.
oh, God, that's them extinguishing
yeah. But the fuel has leaked out into the circuit. And the barrier's damaged as well. So this could be end of the session.
hour.
Yeah, this could be the end of practice. To be fair,
Alonso top, Megan.
Woohoo!
121.4.
I'm happy with that top 3, and it's the highest Stroll's going to get this year, at least so far.
Yeah, that is true.
Did Verstappen get any running in this session? No, he's not.
No.
Neither's Perez or Hamilton.
A
to be fair.
lot of them
Max is in the
haven't.
car.
So it's Hulkenberg, Joe, Sainz, Tsunoda, Gasly, Ocon, Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton did not get any running.
Max was about to head out
Right.
when
Yeah, he
that
was
happened.
about to head out, to be fair. Russell could have gone quicker with that, his excursions in turn 1.
Only the top 10 got a time in. The others, there was about 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 6 drivers who were about to start their starting lap. Not the opening one, but they come out the pit lane, but like their first lap time. They're about to start that.
Welcome to the JB Motorsport podcast, everybody.
Yeah, we're going to be in for a long delay, aren't we, as well? So that was not the best accident we've seen on the circuit as well. So red flags out. Sky have gone to a break. On the other side, we'll hear from that of the Williams team principal. Right now, let's head over to BBC Radio 5 Live.
Has found himself in, but I think, we've spoken about it before. It's really of his own doing, and that was another big mistake from the American driver.
The 23-year-old from Fort Lauderdale in his second and what many suspect to be his final season in Formula One. As I said, Carlos Sainz will join Alex Albon at the Williams team next year. But he is out of the car after a big shunt in that Williams in free practice 3. The red flag is out. Everybody else back in the garage. The clock continues to count down. 39 minutes and 27, 26, 25 seconds remain. The marshals out on track, who are really having to do a big clean-up job. In fact, the car is still very much on the circuit. The truck is there to try and take it away, but that is a rather delicate Formula One car when they hoist that up and put it on the back of a flatbed truck. So we'll see how they get on with that. But of course, the marshals volunteering their time, always doing fantastic work. So we'll keep you up to date. But still red flag conditions. So Rosanna, what more you got for us?
Well, you gave me a challenge, didn't you?
I did.
Just sort of challenge Rosanna moment. About the Haas front wing, a new front wing for the team this weekend. And as we saw earlier in the session, Nico Hülkenberg has ripped his off, but it was stuck under his Haas car. And unfortunately, it was the new front wing he was running. So that is disappointing for them.
Oh.
I need to find out a little bit more as to whether there are any extras lurking around, whether they brought extra ones. But yeah, disappointing for them because they'll have been trying to find out more about how the part is performing. And also, it has been strange, hasn't it? Because Nico Hülkenberg doesn't tend to make lots of mistakes. And we heard him on the radio saying, you know, it was like yesterday, it happened when I braked. So interesting situation he's finding himself in this weekend. Something obviously not quite right with that upgraded part, which perhaps mean he might revert back to the old spec and it might come good again.
Yeah, perhaps, but that is not what Hülkenberg needed. Who, you know, he's having a brilliant season. Currently 11th in the Drivers' Championship. Last couple of races, no points to his name, but 2 6th places, one in Austria and one in Silverstone. A great run of it, snapped up by the Audi project for 2026. So it is a bit out of character for Hülkenberg to be showcasing a few errors. So perhaps there's a little bit more going on underneath that Haas that we're not quite aware of.
I'll tell you what's also interesting, Harry. We're getting a sequence of shots of Formula One drivers either climbing out of their cars or taking their helmets off, or both.
They think that's day done.
It looks a bit like they suspect that. I think that barrier, as I say, there was no impact absorbing barrier against the metal barrier in front of the metal
Andrew's
barrier
right.
there. Sargent hit it at what would have been, I assume, at least 160 miles an hour. And we're getting another replay, Alice. Do you want to have another look at it?
Yeah, his positioning is fine. He
Still have a
gets
red flag here in Zandvoort, and because of this incident, Logan...
Yeah, so Sargent hits the wall. Let's check in then, if we can, because David Croft is now going to be talking to Logan Sargent's team principal.
Conditions on the track, even worse off the track, and...
Oh my God, Jess! That just massive hit there, mate.
It was very, very loud. And here's Russell going past it. He's obviously seeing the fire.
Get out!
I think
he's on fire. He needs to jump out.
I think
there's also fire moving down the middle, rolling down the middle of the circuit. Driver's okay. Yeah, he's okay, but the car's on fire.
Do you know what? I think Sargent was in a state of shock.
Yeah, let's hear from Leclerc.
That they were referring to.
Sargent had quite a big crash in turns 4-5. Is he okay? Yes, he's okay. Okay, good.
There's going to be more team radio coming in as Sargent jumps out the car. Let's hear from Daniel Ricciardo.
Double yellow turn 4. Oh, big crash. Big crash. And Sargent said he's okay on the radio.
Okay. Yep, they need some fire marshals.
Sargent's car has now been returned. He's coming back to the pit lanes on the back of a flatbed truck, taking it in.
Do you know, I reckon Sargent was in a state of shock when that car was in... Because obviously he'd just been jolted, but I think what snapped him out of the shock, because immediately after... No, I think immediately after Russell was like, get out, he noticed that and was just like, okay. And I think he came back to himself a bit, and that's why he got out.
He was told.
Yeah, he was told on the radio as well.
Yeah, but he didn't get out for about 30 seconds after.
He didn't. Yeah, that's what I think he's going to be thinking by the stewards.
I think George was the one to like snap him out of it, because obviously when you hear stuff in your ears, your brain is not processing that in the same place. But if he saw it, it would have gone to a different place and it would have actually registered within his brain.
I wonder if he might just have a little bit of concussion after that, because the way he hit that barrier sideways on, I
think he does.
It's a very strange part of the track to hit. I don't know. You've got so much accelerant downforce. Yes, he's got the gravel on the grass, but to swing it off like that and hit the barrier at an angle, it doesn't make sense.
His head would have gone like this, and I reckon he would have whacked it slightly against the halo.
It almost like he jumped as well into the barrier. It was quite a large one. The car is on its way back in, by the way. The camera's fine. We've got it on the onboard here. Max Verstappen's jumped out the car. So, yeah. Jim Clark has won here 4 times, the most of anybody at the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Jackie Stewart, Niki Lauda and Max Verstappen, all 3. Alberto Ascari, Jack Brabham, James Hunt, Alain Prost have won twice. Juan Manuel Fangio once. Sterling Moss once.
A lot of J names have won here a lot.
Yes, yeah. Jackie Stewart winning here 3 times as well. James Hunt, of course, got his first ever Formula 1 race win here.
Oh, maybe someone else will get their first win.
Now, technically, he won the 1975... Say again? Jack Doohan, yeah, he'll win it. Now, technically...
Continuing with the J names.
Yeah, technically, James Hunt won his first ever race in 1975 at Silverstone, but he actually won it here at Zandvoort in 1975 as well, like a couple of months later. This was what I was saying about Oscar Piastri going off just for the red flag. Yeah, locks up on the inside front line, goes...
He made no attempt of turning.
Yeah, and then this was Russell following him in. Same. There's almost like a... There's an extra bit of puddle down there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, did he touch the wall? Oh, Russell was close.
He just about avoided having a bigger crash himself.
Yeah.
Well, they've knocked the front wing off, and they've got a brand new front wing on that Mercedes this weekend as well that they don't have many spares of.
Do you know what I've always wondered?
Yeah.
What if they decide to put chalk on the tyres in wet weather races? I don't know why, but I think that might actually help a little bit.
Well, we've got a bike there that we can put some chalk on, but I'm not doing it because no Milo can go down.
I'm looking at Logan Sargent's on board, and I think his car is being towed to the pit lane or whatever because I can see it moving.
Yeah, he's
right
coming
now.
into turn 13
Can't
right now. Yeah.
Because you can't put that on a crane, not with a broken fuel.
Yeah, so they've towed it back in, yeah. By the way, we've got Yuki Tsunoda getting ready to head back out there on the circuit.
Yeah.
Joe, from that angle, he looks like Takuma Sato.
He does.
Yeah, he's got the same eyebrows.
Yeah.
Same face as well. It looks like
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
That threw me for a little bit there as well.
That threw me as well. It was weird.
So I'm just being told in my ear that he's back in the pit. Yes, it is back in the pit lane. So Logan Sargent.
You can see it. You can see it right now.
Here it is. Yep. So Sargent's car coming back in. So that's basically one brand new Williams smashed up. Not by Sargent's fault, I don't think.
No, I think...
Even though Five Live blamed Sargent, but yeah.
Yeah.
He was actually complaining to the team beforehand, saying, I've lost my tyres.
Do you know what I love so much about Jack Doohan? We just saw him leave the commentary box on Sky. He's been in the commentary box so much with them as a practice commentator. He knew what button to press on the bus mixer to switch his mic off. Bernie's down in the pits.
Up from, and they're going to very quickly try and get covers. They've already got the bannering out in the garage to try and make sure that we can see as little as possible. I don't know if you can see the images, Crofty, but the mechanics are all here with their... Almost looks like marigolds that you do your dishes with, but that's a safety concern, so there's no electrical. You know, they obviously don't know what state the engine's in, they don't know how the battery is, like Ant mentioned earlier. So that's a safety precaution for the mechanics, because obviously there's a significant battery charge in these cars, so it's just about keeping people away almost from this, making sure that they can get the car safely off that loader into the garage and start to assess the damage. And I think at the minute it's just going to be straight into probably a spare chassis, because with that sort of battery damage, fire damage, so much of the internals of the car, you just don't know the state. The wire and loom particularly, there's a lot of components that are used in the gearbox that actually, when they get burnt, are very, very dangerous. And that's one of the reasons they'll just be taking this car back. They've cleared the garage, they've got the banner in here, and it'll be a bit of a try and get this in a safe condition, push it out the back, and then hopefully they've got a spare chassis here this weekend. Obviously Williams struggled with that at the beginning of the year and start to get into that rebuild of this car, but probably quite a late night ahead for these mechanics. But at the minute it's just about keeping everybody safe from a car in an uncertain condition.
Thank you, Bernie. And we're looking down at the barrier, and it is totally destroyed. Like, they're having to replace the whole Armco barrier section. So this is going to take quite a while, and we know from history this takes about an hour.
Yeah, they may as well just end it now. Also, the weather is not looking great at all.
No, so this could be...
It looks horrible.
Well, Nicole Fry is trackside this weekend from Fans in Focus in the Grid Network. And hopefully we'll be hearing from her tomorrow before the race.
Wait, she's not in Portland, is she?
No, she's at Zandvoort. She's flown over from America and gone to Zandvoort.
Cool.
James Vowles is on team principal pitwall.
A car, your car, like it is at the moment, but this couldn't be the worst time of the weekend for this to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's no good time. There's sort of hundreds of hours spent on this update kit. It looks like it's working well, but there's few of them in the world. And really, the worst time is when you've just introduced it with small amounts of bits and you put it into a wall of the circuit. So the other difficulty you just mentioned there is it's FP3, so qualifying is going to be on us pretty quickly, but I'm pretty sure you saw from the images, I can see it just by me now, that's in a pretty bad state.
Have you got a spare chassis, and have you got extra upgraded parts so that when you do get allowed into the race, you can run the same spec as you had before?
I think yes is the answer, but actually there's a limited amount, so if something happens now to other car, you need to make sure in parc fermé you have enough spares. So that's more what I want to evaluate now. When we're in a parc fermé condition,
can we
service both cars to a Michelin standard?
That was not answering the question.
Yeah, because what you wouldn't want is Alex to have a good qualifying and then have an issue, say, where he damages a part and then you can't replace like for like and he gets a punishment for that.
It's exactly that, yeah. So there's a bit, the first step of it is really we're going to go through in detail what has been damaged in this. It looks pretty serious, if I'm honest, and I think that could result in a chassis change, so let's keep an eye on what that looks like.
James, have you spoken to Logan on the radio? Is he okay?
He jumped on the radio, said I'm okay, then had to jump out because the car was on fire, so I didn't get an opportunity to talk to him. He's down at the medical centre at the moment. I've just had a nod that he's okay, so we'll bring him back up here and have a chat.
And what do you say to him going into what is probably the race, not qualifying? How do you rebuild the confidence as a team principal?
The first and foremost is the trick behind all of this. You've got some real experts on as a part of your panel on Sky. You've got to compartmentalise what's happened. So in other words, put it into a box and understand why it happened and what went wrong. I mean, to me it looked like he washed out, didn't realise there's grass there, put a wheel on the grass, which then effectively resulted in that huge accident. But put that into a box. What caused it, what materialised, what we learned from it, so you can't repeat it again. And the real expertise with Formula 1 drivers is they can typically do that with obviously much smaller incidents by the next corner. So once we can do that, create the right mindset for him, we'll get the most out of it tomorrow.
James, thanks so much. I know you're really busy, but we appreciate your time.
Megan.
Okay, here's a question, because that crash might never have happened if you had actually listened to Logan Sargent. He said 2 laps before, I have lost my tyres. The whole reason why he crashed was because his tyres touched the grass, because he had already lost control of them before.
Yeah,
so that crash would never have happened if they had actually listened to their driver and brought him in.
Logan Sargent's car is back in the garage, we can see now on the F1 TV, so we might lose access to that shortly as well. 25 minutes to go while they repair the barrier. We might be done for practice 3 at the moment. We are awaiting news.
Oh, I don't know, Max is getting in his car.
Yeah, but that could just be a precautionary thing as well.
Either that or he feels separation anxiety from it.
Well, at least Max Verstappen gets to hear the Dutch national anthem this weekend on the grid on Sunday.
I always feel nervous.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, we do get to hear the Dutch national anthem regardless.
So that's a bit of a positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello, Danny Rick.
We see you.
He's just
Does he
laying
wink?
there. Yeah, doesn't
He's just loving life at the moment.
He's not even ready for the thing. He just wants somewhere to lay down.
You can always lay down in the car here as well. Well, this is a red flag nightmare. At least we know where. At least it's not like we're filling time, not knowing that this is going to be like hours and hours. We're filling. Oh, there's Logan Sargent walking back down the pit lane now, looking very much okay.
He's good.
So let's go on to the fact that if we have been what we've been told is correct, and that Sargent is limited on spares, are we going to have an Australia where he's not going to race?
Could be.
To protect Albon.
But it was the other way round. Oh no, wait, yes, it was Albon that broke the car in
Australia, and Sargent wasn't allowed to race.
Yeah, which I still don't understand.
It should have been the one that damaged the car.
Yeah.
Can't race.
Yeah, well,
not the other way round.
James Vowles very much played favouritism that weekend.
I tell you what, he can't do that next year, can he?
No, because he's got Carlos Sainz and Alexander Albon.
He's got Carlos Sainz,
and Carlos is faster than Albon is.
Carlos Sainz must be looking at this and going, he's just said that they might not have enough spares, and I'm going to a team where if I crash, that's it.
Yeah. Carlos, thankfully, doesn't crash as much anymore, but he used to.
Anymore?
Yes, as much.
That's the key factor there, anymore. Alexander Albon, quite happy where he's sitting right now. Alex Jakes did him dirty, though. Because it was his birthday on the Saturday after he crashed. And he said, happy birthday to Alexander Albon. His birthday present, Logan Sargent's car. I was like...
That is kind of a bit harsh, isn't it?
Massively, yeah.
Round of applause is needed.
Oh, yeah, Alex Jakes is that content. Where is Omi? Does anyone actually know? He said he was going to be down for some sessions. And Omi's just...
He's not here until qualifying.
Oh, right, okay. Let's head back to BBC Radio 5
This is
Live.
now eating into valuable time because I think it has stopped raining, so we know how quick the track dries out. The weather forecast is looking a little bit, I know you said throw the radar in the bin, but it was earlier looking like there might be a bit of rain around about Q3 time. But because of yesterday, it's actually been a bit of a truncated weekend so far with running.
Yeah, it has. And we do get the session green, which drivers are getting back in their cars, so, you know, they've got more information than we do. So it's looking like the session will resume. It's going to be a very busy final few minutes of the session because everyone's going to want to get out there, get as much running as they possibly can, run through their program basically that they were going to do. Obviously put the ones that were priority first now, and yeah, it's going to be busy, and there's going to be some few yellow flags from people making mistakes with the drying track, was what we saw yesterday. A few people running wide, just trying to look. There is a dry line starting, very small dry line starting to form on the main straight looking out the commentary box window. Lewis Hamilton's got his phone out, he's doing a little bit of photography. He's not had a time set yet. I think he's taking a photo for a young fan, and now he's having a photo with a young fan. So Hamilton's not thinking about getting in the car anytime soon.
No, certainly not. But nothing that's popped up from race control yet. So as soon as we hear things, we'll update you. Actually, Andrew, yesterday Alice and I think you were busy doing long run corners, so we were having a little bit of a debate about kind of a golden era of drivers that's coming into the sport, or are we about to enter a nice period of really exciting talent from the old experienced hands of Alonso and Hamilton still on the grid to now young but still experienced? You know, you've got your Norris, you've got your Russell, your Verstappen, your Albon, and now it seems that we're getting an influx of really exciting rookies. Oliver Behrman confirmed. It looks like Kimi Antonelli will make the step up to Mercedes, still yet to be confirmed. Of course, we could well see Liam Lawson on the grid too. Not technically a rookie, but very inexperienced. Do you think we're about to enter a bit of a golden period?
I think we've been in a golden period for about 5 years, Harry, actually.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at the lineup of drivers at the front of the grid. Hamilton, Alonso, Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Norris, and now Piastri. There aren't many eras of Formula One with a stronger sort of top 6 or 7 drivers than that. You know, Alonso and Hamilton and Verstappen are true all-time greats. Russell is out qualifying Hamilton, you know, comprehensively this year. Charles Leclerc is considered to be potentially the fastest driver of anybody over an entire lap. So, you know, when you look at it in that way, it's already incredibly strong at the top of the grid. As for the new generation coming on, that means they've got a lot to live up to. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who everyone expects to be in the Mercedes next year. Now Hamilton's moved to Ferrari, and they've abandoned hopes of getting Verstappen, at least for next year. He's rated as a very, very strong potential talent. You know, the reason that Hamilton's ended up leaving Mercedes really is that Mercedes didn't want to commit to him for too long because Toto Wolff didn't want to lose the opportunity to have Antonelli. Now, I think you can ask questions about whether he needed to panic.
Yeah, well, thank you very much to BBC Radio 5 Live. Max Verstappen.
People are talking about him as the next Verstappen.
There you go.
And he's smiling.
He's rated.
You can hear it in the background.
Max Verstappen.
Look, he's smiling. He's noticed it.
SHT says that's a huge hit. Alonso now being a race driver on track and manager off track behind the scenes. Seems like it. So we are.
Fan dancing?
I don't think this session.
Having the time of your life.
This chair is like. I need a new
stand.
Yeah. Seat's fine. Just need a new stand. Can you get new stands?
Pretty sure. Didn't you put that together?
Yeah. No sign of the red flag being retrieved.
Rescinded? Wait, what? I don't even know.
18 minutes.
You see those kids' headphones that is on there? That's what I want. Bluetooth headphones.
I want that.
You see, all this orange in the crowd, I can't tell whether they're Max Verstappen fans
or Marshalls.
Or McLaren fans. Or Marshalls, actually, too, to be honest.
The session will restart shortly after barrier repairs are completed.
Ha!
Well, that's not gonna. That's not gonna restart.
No, they're just gonna make us wait here.
They've suspended the. Are they suspending the clock? Are they going to give the
Surely
teams the
not,
time?
because they got Porsche qualifying after this.
Bernie's in the pits.
Thankfully stopped raining Crofty, that is for sure, but it's not brightened up as much as we were expecting at this stage. Pitlane's still pretty wet. A lot of the teams are trying to dry their grid boxes where they can. Just to bring you a bit of information, the two Red Bulls and Hamilton haven't even been out on track yet. One of the reasons for that is they were wanting to run that Inter that they can run for free this morning. They give it back after this session. But they were trying to wait for Hülkenberg, that front wing that you seen, waiting to see if that would cause a red flag. Wait a little bit more as the pit lane rushed out when it was Hülkenberg was back in and that was clear. And then the second red flag, or the only red flag we've had, but the second potential came along. So they've not made it out, but it's looking pretty calm here. The only thing to say is the wind was very, very quiet at the beginning of this race. Quite settled on the flags opposite me compared to what it had been yesterday. But it has started to pick up as we've gone through this session. So when the guys go back out, or hopefully get out at the very end of this session, there will be slightly more wind than what they experienced earlier on at the beginning of P3.
And
it's
qualifying as well, Bernie, that the wind is going to continue to pick up all day.
A bit agreed with Ant that the forecast, we are not being reliable so far this weekend, but what we are expecting is the wind will pick up, but also we're expecting the sun to make an appearance, which it hasn't so far today.
I'm just concerned about the wind. Ant has told me we're going on a 10k run back from the track to the hotel later, and I think at the moment the wind will be behind us for most of that 10k. If it could stay that way, I'd be grateful.
That would be very beneficial, I think, Crofty. Not so much for the race cars, which is the tailwind down the straight at the moment, but let's see. Oh, and as I say that, it's sunny now.
Thank you, Bernie. If Anthony Davidson, if I ever get to the Skyform commentary box and Anthony Davidson makes me do a 10k run, I don't think Anthony Davidson will live to make it back to the hotel.
What happened to him?
10 kilometres.
Yeah,
What?
a 10k run.
I don't know.
Now get a shuttle or a cat taxi.
I'll do a bike ride. I'm not a runner. I'm a biker.
Or do a bike ride, yeah.
I'm not a runner. I am very much a biker. I'm a cyclist.
Someone ever tries to make me do a 10k, I'll arrive just like 200 meters behind in a taxi.
I would do a bit of walking and running.
People would say, "Where have they gone?" It's like,
how much is 25 miles in kilometres?
I don't know.
25 miles in for about 40 kilometres.
You can make it, yeah, you can work out around 40 kilometres because 5 miles is 8k.
Well, in that case, I just did a 40-kilometre cycle last week.
Yes.
Or the week before. No, last week.
Oh, well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think I was. To be honest, I don't think I was cope with that.
I don't
know how I did it. I was dying on the way back.
I don't think they have been looking at the weather okay because they said, "Oh, the sun's peeking out." A, it's not. B, they said, "Oh yeah, looking to be windy. It's gonna rain."
Eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Go on, Jess.
Josh, did you see the marshal just going like this?
Yeah, clapping in the pit lane area. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm a bit jealous of Nicole because I've just seen her Instagram story. She's in the Paddock Club. She's got a
Oh my god.
Once in a lifetime. Oh, typical. She's in. I think she got with her from academy because she's part of it.
Wait, on Instagram?
Yeah, Nicole's Insta. She's in the Paddock Club. Christian Horner watching up.
Oh my god, I'm jealous.
Why is he squinting away from the sun with no sun?
Why every single time do we see Christian Horner? Does he always look like he's in the middle of a President Nixon decision? like a what do I do here?
Does that mean he's going to be impeached?
The fans are taking their jackets off.
You're fools. You're fools if you think this little bit of weather being nice is going to actually last. Have you ever heard of eyes of storms? It comes very, very quickly, and then the rest of the horrible weather comes with it.
I love the Dutch fans. They're just like partying during a red flag. It's great.
That man's wedding ring was on the wrong side.
Oh.
Are they flipping images again, do you reckon?
Probably.
I spot things. I spot things.
Oh yeah, the watch is on the... No, they're not flipping here because the watch is on the right side.
Yeah.
It's on the left.
There's a right
Yeah,
side of the...
fine.
I always wear my watches... If I wear a watch, on my right.
I wear mine on my... I don't know, it's hard to tell. I usually wear my watch on my left side.
If it's a normal watch, I'll wear it on the right. If it's my Apple Watch, I'll wear it on the left.
Do you know Jarno is at Zandvoort this weekend?
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh. We need to get him on. How do we get...
And did you hear he signed to Red Bull?
I did say he signed to Red Bull, yeah. That was surprising. I saw yours and George's tweets, I think.
It was amazing.
How did we get him on the broadcast?
Logical move as well
Oh,
for
yeah,
him.
completely, yeah. How did we get him on the broadcast?
And he tweeted, and Red Bull tweeted, Max and Jarno have met up.
Oh, excellent. The fastest on and off.
Exactly, there we go.
What happens if a driver gets an eyelash in their eye in the middle of driving?
Well, that's what happened to someone, one driver once.
I mean, I imagine they'd crash. A lot of people leaving.
A lot of people are leaving. I'm having to talk over quite loud now because Queen's playing in the background, We Will Rock You, which also means that if it detects it, the cameraman is actually...
I will continue talking too.
JT, if you take a look, isn't this... That last image there was very much like me at Dollington when I was walking underneath the track back to the thing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
The signal cuts out. You go underneath that tunnel, the signal just goes. So We Will Rock You is going around the circuit at the moment, quite aptly, I must add, as well.
We will stop the session, more like.
Yeah. The session will resume at 12:25 in 6 minutes' time. We will have a 5-minute shootout in practice 3. Well done.
That is not good.
Well done. That is amazing. Who's going to risk it for some waffles?
Chocolate biscuits.
Well, McLaren all have the waffles, so they're probably hiding them.
Get the Stroop waffles out.
Oh, it's going to be a busy... It's going to be like Q3 or Q1.
Is Lando drying his hair with...
Lando is drying his hair, yeah.
Just with the fan. He's got it weirdly positioned in his hair direction, and for some reason he's just in the car with... Just like... He's not prepared for the race.
Red flag came out 15 minutes...
session.
Red flag came out 15 minutes into the session, so we will have a total of 20 minutes green flag, 40-minute red flag. It's insane. So, the session will restart. That's confirmed. Max Verstappen will get some laps in. So it'll be a blast out to see who's going to finish it.
It's still to be confirmed, Josh.
Oh, right, to be confirmed. Thank you, JT. So session will resume at 12:25 local time, to be confirmed. So that they want to give you 5 minutes, but we might not get that 5 minutes. Thanks, JT.
I bet they won't.
They're just teasing us, aren't they?
Megan, that body you disposed of is floating back up to the surface.
I knew those bricks would hold.
Oh my god.
Pushed it into the Chandler hole that ends up at...
So that's where that goes.
He's fallen off the board! He's fallen off the board!
Tell you what, those waves are
guys,
getting
do
heavier.
what you did for the go-karting. Do it Do a replay, go on.
Yeah, we want to see a replay of that. Come on. He's in front of millions of viewers worldwide, and we've all just watched him stuff it.
He was doing quite well beforehand.
Wait. I got a perfect one for this.
Thank you. Come again.
So that
We're not on the USRN, so I was able to play that.
We're not on USRN, no, not until Sunday.
Those waves.
I actually didn't see it, so please replay it, F1, thank you.
JT, you can reverse just... Oh, okay. I thought you got your wish there. This is Sergeant Offboard crash again. If you're just joining us, this is the reason for the red flag. Logan Sargent hitting the wall at high speed exit at turn 4.
How did Piastri avoid the tyre?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh. Look, it just flies. Huge impact. That could easily happen in the race tomorrow as well. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
And that would be a red flag again.
Oh, God, no. Actually, I can't if it's a red flag so I can watch the rest of the race.
I don't think we've got any... Well, we don't. We've got touring cars at 5.
No, I wanted to happen so it doesn't clash with touring cars,
Yeah,
but...
I know what you mean. Yeah, so that you get to watch the whole race, yeah.
Probably not going to happen, though.
He was winded, wasn't he, Sergeant? Our guest
Yeah,
might
it
not like
looks
the red
weird.
flag. So, what time is it now? 22. I don't think...
it's not gonna happen.
No. Otherwise, we would have had a session will restart confirmed. It's not Nicole, is it? No.
Actually, no, it might be.
I can't tell if that was Nicole or not.
That might be, actually.
Right, SHT has put in as well.
I wanna find out what top she's wearing. Anyway, carry on.
Otmi and Rasmussen will be teammates. That is a nasty combo. Oh, yeah.
Combo.
All of the cheating allegations that Otmi directed towards Rasmussen.
Oh.
Yeah.
It still says to be confirmed.
Yeah, this session's not going to restart, is it?
No, it's not going to happen, mate.
How ironic. This was for Mercedes F1 and Mercedes Esports Racing Team last year. IRL Mercedes lost Hamilton for 2025, and in Esports Mercedes lost Otmi going into the next F1 Sim Championship season. Yeah, but they need to really improve F1 Esports because they
actually. Wait, I'm just trying to see what top she's wearing. Oh, it's not saying.
Oh,
might have been her.
Nicole, if you let us know if you were there. But
yeah, what top? What colour top? Are you wearing a black top? Because if you are, we might have saw you on the broadcast.
In the IndyCar qualifying later on, you'll hear, which I am covering now, I'm still going to be here. So you will hear from Jackson Lambros, and session will restart at 22:27 to be confirmed.
Oh, God.
So 3 minutes, yeah.
Make up your mind!
I'm sorry, but they can't make a suitable run.
Yeah, look at that. They were going to put Russell out, now they've put it back in. Bernie down in the pits.
A lot of the mechanics walking out, getting ready to release the car. Oh, and they've just been given the turn it off signal.
Yeah.
The start time has been a bore. The one right next to me, not the ones ahead. So.
Bernie, we're just hearing every other word, sadly, at the moment. I think someone stood in front of you and we're not quite getting the reception from your radio mic. As we came down to you, they flashed up, session will resume at 12:27. I thought it was...
Say again?
Speak of the devil, hello, Omi.
Omi, you alive?
Hi. Hello.
Just in time for my joke.
Well, go on, Nega, go.
There's a jack in the box.
Jack, do it.
Yeah. Jack in the box.
Yeah. Yes, perfect. Oh, that's brilliant.
Right, red flag's out then. They're waiting up for Sergio Perez.
You didn't miss much, Omi.
Right. Lovely.
Oh my God, you can tell we're going crazy on this broadcast.
I went crazy a long time ago.
It's going to be a 45-minute red flag in an hour's. Bernie, down you.
Fired up. Mechanics are stepped out in the pit lane, hands held to hold the car in position, ready to get to the end of that pit lane for the red light. And what the difficulty they have is it's a compromise now. The inters are at 60 degrees in these blankets. When they're sat down in no blankets, they're cooling all the time. So it's a compromise between being first in the queue and having nice warm tyres. Even if you can get a lap in, that is very beneficial information on these inters. And the start on the grid, as you say, so important. This is only the second opportunity to do a start on the grid this weekend.
Yes.
And we, as we know, the forecast, we do not know the conditions on Sunday as we get the Haas cars moving behind me now.
Session will resume
at 12:28.
So we are going to be going then for 2 minutes.
That is still enough to do an outlap.
An out and a push, but they can't be fannying about down there like they usually do in the pit lane. They have got to be straight out and go.
I'm not sure Lando's heading out.
Pace killed 1 minute 30, they're saying.
I'm not sure Lando's heading out. I'm not sure he's comfortable with it. I've just seen it on the radio.
No, so Lando might not go. 2 minute and a 44-minute delay. We will have a total of, what, 16 minutes?
I don't think either of the McLarens are going out.
No.
Pit lane is queued up. Absolutely
No,
insane.
it's not going to happen, mate.
This is going to be quite dramatic. Tenner, somebody throws it in the wall.
I guess, I think the Haas.
Megan's doing the finger of doom. Track is clear. Track is clear. Joe.
Well done to the marshals.
Yeah, to get that done in 45 minutes, that's good for the race later. Plus a 10-minute restart warning. So if the barrier is damaged, we're still looking at about an hour. Red flag.
Oh, I think the McLarens actually might go out. I think we decided may as well get a guess in for
3,
qualifying.
2, 1, green light. We are back underway for practice 3 of the Dutch Grand Prix, and they are straight out of the pit lane. But 1 minute 21 is a push lap. They've all just got to go straight out there. They can't afford to waste it. But also, they want to do practice starts on the grid. 143, 42, 41.
I think they might just do practice starts. I don't think they'll just probably do an outlet and go onto the grid. That's what I think.
They can't. Regs.
1 minute 30.
Why?
121. Has everyone left the pit lane? 25, 24, 23, 22, 21.
Because if cars randomly stop on the grid while the checkered flag is going out.
No,
and
I mean after that.
Yeah, so it'll be the normal.
Max Verstappen has passed.
Take the checkered and
Max
then go.
Verstappen is under investigation by the stewards. He has passed one of the Mercedes round the outside of pit exit and has crossed the pit lane line. You're watching it now. So he's got ahead of Piastri.
That's one of the McLarens.
Yeah, but look, he's going to go around the outside, I think, of George Russell here, and he crosses the pit lane exit line now. So George,
that'll be if it was in the race, that would be a 5-second penalty.
But it could be a grid penalty right now because that's dangerous driving from Max Verstappen. That is classified as dangerous driving. So Max Verstappen could be in for a grid penalty come the race.
His own race.
Yeah. Because that is a big no-no. You're not allowed to cross him. It's an automatic grid penalty whenever you do it.
What was he thinking?
That was stupid because he's just cost him that. That's at least a 5-place grid penalty. Hamilton's blocking him as well. Max is getting really angry now as he's nearly losing it coming into the banking of the last corner. Hamilton straight up there as well, and it's green flag for one flying lap. Max crosses the line with 2 seconds to go. Black and white flag for Max Verstappen for failing to follow the race director's instructions of crossing the pit lane line into turn 1. We've got a Mr. Ferrari nearly going wide of Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz is just behind. Look at Max Verstappen now. He's gone. Russell looking for a way through.
Perez didn't get through.
Perez did not. Neither did Tsunoda. Neither did Stroll or Ricciardo.
Magnussen has a really great opening thing, but so does Ocon.
And
Gasly.
Well, this is a thing of sign of things to come. Look at Russell. Russell's blocked one of the Ferraris now, and it's Charles Leclerc. Magnussen's got clean air to try and top the session. This is only, it's only practice 3. My goodness me. And Magnussen's going to get the best of all the conditions.
2 seconds behind.
Yeah, Verstappen's not got a good first sector. Gasly.
Gasly.
First sector, and he's 7/10 up, so it's not that bad. Alonso stayed in the pit lane, so did Sargent. Stroll, Albon second the flag.
Sargent couldn't.
Hulkenberg going. Well, that's true. Hulkenberg goes fourth.
Magnussen's top.
How long until Gasly, though, comes out? This is like a Grand Prix in practice. They're into the banking. Here comes Pierre Gasly. Max Verstappen is furious over the radio. Absolutely furious.
Yet again, he's behind.
Gasly comes across the line, goes top at 1:23.11. Ocon goes fifth. Norris goes fourth. Bottas up to third. Sainz goes 10th. Hamilton 15th. Leclerc 16th. Verstappen is 17th. Absolutely furious. He hasn't managed to get out. He's saying on the radio, you can complete the lap, but he couldn't get any traffic area. The flag falls. Everyone takes it. Gasly tops the session.
Why couldn't this be qualifying?
Let's go.
Wow.
Why couldn't this be qualifying?
That would be a fantastic grid if that was qualifying.
I'm excited for qualifying now, yeah.
Please let this be a similar grid for qualifying, please.
But if the same thing happens and there's 2 minutes to go in Q1, we have got sort of an interesting idea of what could happen.
It's been a day for interesting people at the top.
They got to go out within 3. They got to go out within 3 minutes, surely, or even 4.
So several drivers missed it, so they now know that being right at the end of the pit lane, as soon as we know the restart time, is going to be crucial. Now watch this again from Max Verstappen. Crosses the interior pit lane line to pass Oscar Piastri.
Oscar's bad either.
Then goes round the outside of George Russell and crosses the pit lane exit line. That's a big, big no-no. That
is a big... Yeah.
Let's watch.
Usually it's a grid penalty. Why are they not?
Yeah.
Why is it? It's practice. What's he being so hot-headed about?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not qualifying.
There.
Yeah.
And there.
It's a perfect time to use a certain soundboard.
Do it.
I won't. I'll play at the end.
All right. Perez.
Actually, no. I'll play it now.
But it's the cocky Dutchman who still gets the top. Imola will always be top. It very much, wasn't it? I did tell you that he would return to being cocky.
I'm gonna.
Right, Megan's gonna
I
dive
had a video to play that as well. Was that right? Yes.
Yeah. On to the practice starts of the grid.
Honestly, this is going to be an entertaining qualifying.
Yeah, thanks.
It is.
Go on, Jess.
This is gonna be great.
Did not expect that. What a strange session that was. As they come through, Sonoda didn't manage to get a time set either.
Neither did. So the only ones that did not get a time set overall is Sonoda and Perez.
Yeah.
Ricciardo did set a time, but that was later on in the session.
So practice starts.
Early on in the session.
Yeah, not the greatest here, was it?
No.
Wow. We've got more rain coming up later for qualifying. What the hell is going to happen next? Here's the results then. From practice 3, Pierre Gasly is fastest, a 1:23.11. Magnussen second, Bottas third, Norris fourth, Alonso fifth, Ocon sixth, Piastri seventh, Stroll eighth, Hulkenberg ninth, Carlos Sainz the top 10. Then it's Zhou 11th, Sargent 12th, Russell 13th, Albon 14th, Hamilton 15th, Leclerc 16th, Verstappen 17th, Ricciardo 18th, Tsunoda 19th, and Perez rounds out in 20th place. Closing thoughts then. Let's join the team. Down to you. Well, is Omi here? Is Omi here? Or is he gone?
Hello.
Omi. Hello, Omi. Hello. Well, you've joined at the right time. What did you make of that last 2 minutes?
Huge crash for Logan Sargent. Nothing else other than chilling.
Yeah, pretty much how we spent the hour. It's been a nice morning. JT?
Well, it was a chaotic final 2 minutes. I think a light way to put it anyway.
How was that?
A massive crash for Logan Sargent.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if the stewards have a word for him for not getting out the car quick enough. But we will have to see what happens there. But if that happens in qualifying, then we're in for a really good qualifying session.
It really changed Q1 and Q2 and Q3 with that top 10 running order. Jess, what about you?
We still come into qualifying not knowing the running order and who's going to get pole position. So strap yourself in, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be in for a very crazy qualifying.
We are indeed, as well as we gear up for the start of this one. We will be underway for qualifying at 1:45 in about 2 hours' time. In between that, we've got all the action from British Touring Cars' second practice session. JT taking you through that one. And then after the F1 qualifying, we will have F1 Academy Race 1, and then it's over for IndyCar Practice 2 and qualifying. And then later on tonight, you can join us as well for all the action from the Coke Zero 400 and NASCAR from Daytona International Speedway as we go for the penultimate race in the playoffs as well. That's underway 12 a.m. British Summer Time, and we'll be on air for about 4 hours as well. Thanks for your company. Go get some lunch. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.